All right, let's begin. Lori, if we could do...
Aguirre. Daniel Diaz.
Here.
Felix Felix.
Here, please stand. Please the flag behind you. Ready? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Okay, moving on to item number 3, approval of the order of the agenda. Are there any changes to the order of the agenda?
I'd like to move that we change item number 7 to before item number 6.
All right, can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, Judy seconded. All right, can we do a call for the vote?
Liz. Yes. Michael. Clark.
Michael.
Oh, excuse me.
Thank you.
Yes.
Uwe.
I was on that.
Moni, yes. Mark.
Yes.
Harriet. Yeah. Patty. Yes. Stephen.
Yes.
Michael. Aguirre. Daniel.
Yes.
Felix.
Yes.
Tony.
Yes.
Judy. Yes. John.
Yes.
Ken.
Very good. Okay, so we'll move forward with item number 7. Vote is approved. That being said, I'd like to introduce to everyone Paloma Aguirre, our new District 1 Supervisor. Madam, you have the floor.
Thank you. It's to serve the people. I want to be someone who represents the communities. We know that Bonita is just like all the other unincorporated areas like Lincoln Acres and parts of Spring Valley that are within District 1. But I just want to make sure that I am here, available, and helpful to help move forward the concerns and the wants of the people. That sound good? All right. Well, my story begins, I was born in San Francisco. I am not from the local area, but I've been here since 2001. I'm born to Mexican immigrants who waited tables for a living. I'm the first person in my family to graduate college. I went to USD. I obtained a degree in psychology. And then I became involved. I'm a surfer from Imperial Beach. I've been there since basically 2002. I became involved in environmental conservation as a surfer. I was surfing the beaches of IB without knowing that they were very, very polluted. And that's what began my career in conservation. I later attended UCSD to acquire my graduate degree in marine biodiversity and conservation. And through that degree, I was selected to go work in Washington, D.C. under a fellowship called the Sea Grant NOAA Fellowship. And I had the opportunity to work for United States Senator Cory Booker, who represents New Jersey. I did that for a year. That was in 2016. And, we were doing a lot of good work. but I really wanted to serve my community when I heard that there had been this gigantic sewage spill. I was doing work in Washington, D.C., but I'm like, I think I can better serve my community coming back home and really trying to make a difference there, as I had been in the past. So moved back in 2017, and then I had this wild idea of running for office. I had never been involved in politics or in any parties. I had been working really hard just to, make ends meet. And I decided to run for city council in the city of Imperial Beach. And at the time, we hadn't been districted. So I was running at large, and I ran a very grassroots campaign. I door knocked pretty much by myself with some flyers that I made out of my household and my printer, and won the seat, first place. That was in 2018, so I served 4 years as city council member at large. And then in 2022, the seat opened for mayor, and I ran again for mayor. And I was lucky enough to be elected by the people of Imperial Beach in 2022 as their mayor. And as you all well know, nobody foresaw this situation coming, which is, I think now a year and a half, January of a year and a half ago. Our recently elected representative for District 1 decided to not take the oath of office, right? So that opened the seat, and again, was very blessed and lucky and grateful to win this district. And now I get the privilege and honor to serve the people of District 1. So as you well know, I represent not just the unincorporated areas, but also the city of Chula Vista, National City, Imperial Beach, and parts of San Diego. And it's only been 6 months that we've been in office, but we've done quite a number of things. I won't get into it, but I think one of the things I'm most proud of recently is establishing the community sponsorship of Lincoln Acres, who hadn't had a voice for a long time, and that was something that they were very interested in. And like I said, I'm very passionate about transparency in government and the democratic process, whatever that looks like. It's important. It's very important to me. And then we just had bipartisan, unanimous support to expand our air purifier program that's related to the sewage crisis, to reach, instead of just 10,000 households that we've reached so far, expand the air purifier program to 40,000 households. We approved $4 million at the county to support that effort. So that's just one of the few things that we've done so far in the first 6 months. But like I said, my main interest today and every day is hearing from you, and what are some of the concerns, what are some of the things you'd like to see the county do or do better. So I'm happy to open it up to questions if that's something you'd like to do now. That sound good? Yes. Okay. Do we have a question?
Hi, Mike Webb. I'm the open space chair for the Bonita Highlands Homeowners Association, which borders a lot of Proctor Valley. We are currently working on a program, the Firewise program.
May I interrupt 1 minute? We brought a microphone.
Oh.
We can get to people, which would be, I think, a lot
I
easier for everybody.
I can just talk about it.
Or, sir, would you like to come to the podium?
Okay. Sorry. Hi, so I'm the open space chair for Bonita Highlands Homeowners Association. We border all of Proctor Valley and meet up right to the edge of Chula Vista. We started a 3-year plan to address, after the LA fires, we're like, we got to get after this. We've really got to start looking at cleaning up the area, doing fire prevention. We put that all together, and the challenges were, with the 125, and we've lived here for 30 years. When the last fire came over Rothai Mountain, we all evacuated and whatnot. And my goal has been to sort of shore that up and shore up Proctor Valley and make sure that we're doing everything we can as a good government to address the fire threat that comes when we have Santa Ana winds from the east to the west. And given the new CAL FIRE map has put most of our community in the high risk, meaning we're going to either get our homeowners insurance doubled or canceled altogether, which has already happened to a lot of people. We're being proactive as a community to get after that, thin the eucalyptus groves. We're going to spend close to $200,000 on work closest to Proctor Valley on our side within our 139 acres of open space, horse trails, county trails, and whatnot. And it's, for me at least, I'm very passionate about it, having been directly involved with a lot of the fires since 2008. So.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that update. I think it's important. And I'm sorry, I forgot to introduce some of our folks who are here from the county. Would you like to quickly introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Mark Carl. I'm a Senior Park Project Manager with Parks and Rec.
Vince Nicoletti, Director with Planning and Development Services.
And then, so these folks are on the county staff side. We have folks from Office of District 1 as well. Would you like to?
Hi everyone. Marian Delachare. I'm the Senior Community Representative who oversees Bonita. I'm also Special Advisor on Veterans, Cultural Advocacy, and Women's Initiatives. Great to meet you all.
And then we have a few more in the back.
Oh, hi everyone. My name is Danny. I'm also one of the community representatives for the office, and I oversee downtown, Spring Valley, Barrio Logan, Shelltown, Golden Hill, and South Park.
Is it this?
Yeah.
Me too. Oh, my name is Diana Castañeda, and I'm Director of Communications for Supervisor Paloma Aguirre.
Buenas noches, good evening everybody. Paola Martinez Montes, and I serve as the Director of Community Engagement for the Supervisor, and I'm a fellow resident here in Chula Vista, so it's great to be here with you all. Thank you for having us.
So thank you for that feedback. I think that's super important. I took some notes. Are there any needs that you'd like to see addressed as it relates to this context?
The fire rights, I just, the challenge that we have is trying to figure out who is it. Proctor Valley is divided into two areas. Part of it's Chula Vista, part of it's the county. And the county has integrated a Sweetwater Valley community, has integrated horse trails and hiking trails. We've got all kinds of beautiful trails out there because we're basically a horse community. With that being said, it's just trying to figure out who's on first as it relates to Proctor Valley, because there's a lot of different departments to go through to figure out when can we get that mowed when it gets really high. So when the Santa Ana winds get here, in the summer and fall, that's addressed. But the experience I've had has been awesome in the county. They've done a phenomenal job on everything that I've tried to do. But the challenge is trying to figure out, is it Fish and Wildlife? Is it Chula Vista? Is it Caltrans? Who's really responsible for maintaining, doing their part of the 100-foot CAL FIRE requirements where you've got to clear the brush?
Yeah, the buffering. So it would depend on the specific area, geographical area, right? So we can look at a map, and if it would be helpful, we could also talk to Chief Beecham and maybe even have a specific community meeting to discuss that so that everybody's on the same page, and you can serve as replicators of that information to others who may have those questions.
Thank you so much.
Multi-jurisdictional areas, especially around equestrian trails, is something that I'm very familiar, but in a different context. In the Tijuana River Valley, Mary's here, it's a very similar situation, which can get complicated, but when you have everybody working together and really on the same page, then things can really work. So that's my goal.
I worked in the Tijuana River Valley.
Oh, you did?
27 years.
Okay, that's good. So you know that area very well.
Trails and everything.
32 jurisdictions.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
I'll try to speak very loud, because I don't want to woke up front. We live in an unincorporated area of your district, and we can't vote for a mayor or a city council. So as far as we're concerned, you are our mayor and you are our city council. And so far as I know, all is well. You're doing well. So very good.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I can always do better. So if you have suggestions, let me know. That's why I'm here. Thank you. Yeah.
Good evening, and nice to meet you. My name is Norma. I live in Bonita. I've been here about 16 years, and unfortunately, I am the housing area where the new development of storage units are going to be set in. And 16 years ago, thank you. 16 years ago when we purchased, the freeway was there, but it wasn't so loud. But now it's gotten to the point where it's like the 805, it's constant, loud, and now with the new development coming in, when we purchased, it was residential, for residential homes. Now it's commercial, which is gonna bring my property taxes down, and if you've ever been around a storage unit area, you know what it brings. It brings mice, rats, homelessness, drugs, unfortunate things happening in storage units. And so having a storage unit so close to my backyard takes away the community that I purchased, that I wanted to be a part of, which was, I used to call it Sleepy Bonita because I lived in Chula Vista my whole life. And when I came here, I was like, this is where I want to raise my son, where he can go outside and play with all the neighbors' kids and not have to worry about, is he okay, is he on the street? It was a perfect scenario. And now it's the worst case scenario. It is my nightmare because I planned to build my retirement little casita. I was going to retire there, and now I'm looking for a new home, which I cannot afford because property taxes are through the roof, double my property taxes. And so I've called today, and I looked around all the storage units in the area. There is more than 4 or 5 within a 2-mile radius. All of them are empty. 300 units are empty. I called as a consumer. I was looking for a place, and they said, oh, we have over 300. Oh, we have over 150. 30 are are being upgraded, but we have 150 more. We have another here. In Eastlake, there's an abundance of storage units. Now you're telling me that Bonita, anyone who lives in Bonita, do you really think that Bonita residents need storage? Have you seen our lots? It is ridiculous. It is like we have all this land, we can't afford to build, but we would never think to put junk on our home. Why are we promoting overconsumption? Why do you have 15 couches that you're paying $3,000 for a year? Why? And I can't fathom why the county would allow this. Why, after all these storage units, why would we do something so unethical? And let me give you an example. I work in a school system. I don't work as a teacher, I'm a therapist at a school. I watch people coming in and out of these places, principals, vice principals, teachers on a rotation. You have an abundance of problems that can never be resolved, and the staff and the community is upset. Then an interim comes in, and they say, oh, let's go talk to the interim. The first person that gets in that interim's ear has got their attention. Now they have convinced the interim that this is best for the community, that this is best for the school. The interim knows nothing because they just came from who knows where. Now this interim decides, I'm going to decide on this. I vote yes for this. Override this. That was good for that person, selfishness, and for the interim, but screwed the entire community. And this is how I feel. We've gotten screwed as an entire community because our horse trails, people are trying to take away the horse thing at the park. What is it with that? I've heard people say, oh, people have a space in their backyards. Give me a break. Oh, let's have more parks, more this. Horses need places too. Bonita was built as a horse community, and it should remain that way. We shouldn't have 1,000 people coming in and saying 1,000 cars. That street is a death trap. I don't know how many times I've been in the car with my son. I said, relax your body, because we're going to get hit. I come down and I put my blinkers on. People come up to the end, go around me, never stop. I've almost gotten killed. So
What is this section?
Sweetwater Road and Quarry, right.
Oh,
If you look at the map, you can see my house. And so whenever I come down that hill, which I refuse to go up that hill because of that problem, I can't imagine having a horse trail or a park for kids. You're going to get killed. I mean, I almost get killed. I ask any neighbors who live there. So I believe that what was done is unethical, and I don't care what anybody says. I cannot believe that. All those years it was fought. I looked at the documents, 11-1, fought. The community said no. The letters, I read the letters. I looked up the addresses. Those addresses are people in Spring Valley. They don't live in Bonita. That's not 91902. So unless you live here, you can vote here. People from Chula Vista were voting for it. People in Spring Valley were voting for it.
And that was at the county, right?
Yes, look at the letters, the addresses. Those people don't even live in Bonita. And so I've been to a few meetings, and people are anti the storage unit. They want to keep the community. They want a housing in a market where there is a housing crisis. Who are they going to live in the storage unit? 1,000. Do you guys know what 1,000 looks like? Have you guys driven by? The place is cut completely out, and my neighbor's house has a big brick thing behind it. He's like, there's nothing we can do. Everyone is there. If you know Bonita, there's a lot of families who have been here a long time, and the children inherit the homes, and so it's a beautiful community of grandparents and kids and families, and everyone knows each other. And I'm here with my neighbor, we carpool today. That's how Unity is, right? So we are a community, and then to have this thing happen to us, we came together as a community to say no. The board voted no, but then somebody decided what was good for them or their pockets. I don't know what it was. That's all I can think of was a money grab. Like, why would you not invest in a home, but a storage unit, where there's an abundance and overflow and extra units right down the street. We have one on Quarry Road, 1.8 miles from that, no, 1.3 miles from the storage unit they're going to build. There is one, and there are 300 units empty, by the way, if anybody needs something.
So my understanding, and this is before my time.
I know.
But my understanding is there was the public input process, and there was a formal appeal that was filed. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Absolutely. So the quarry storage project, it was processed before the supervisor was seated. The appeal that was filed and the Planning Commission recommended approval for it, the project was appealed. We had a requirement under the zoning ordinance to bring it to the County Board of Supervisors within 120 days. We didn't have discretion on postponing it beyond that. That 120-day mark was before the District 1 seat was built, and so the storage project was approved at that point. I understand your perspective on it. We have another storage project proposed at the other side of Bonita. We have different views on that one, and that one is paused right now from moving forward, but we do not have support for that project from our department right now. In terms of the intersection of Quarry and Sweetwater, part of the requirements for the storage project is to realign that road to improve safety. So as right now, you're describing it as kind of a very sharp turn if you're going out to make a turn.
No, on my street. Okay. It's not even that street. I don't live on that street. I live next to it. So even down the way, it's a downhill grade. People don't care, and they go very fast. And so this is the thing. We are not commercial. Storage units belong in commercial areas. This is a community, homes, where people play on their yards, and so horses are crossing constantly. I don't know, would you like to live next to a storage unit where there's traffic going back and forth? I mean, have you ever been to a storage unit in your life where you had to go? I used to live in a different state, and I had to put something in storage, and I was terrified to go after dark, because what happens in those places, it's not safe for families.
So what I'm hearing, right, there's two concerns, if I'm correct, or more?
Yes.
Two. Okay, so we have the storage issue, which is the land use issue, which is a decision that was made by the Board of Supervisors that has been completed. It was appealed. The appeal was denied.
The appeal was denied, and so the project moved forward.
So the project is moving forward. Is there any way to stop that project legally at this point?
Nothing through county action.
Okay, so that ship has sailed, let's say. But I hear a second concern that's very important as well, which has to do with the safety, pedestrian safety, equestrian safety as it relates to the road.
And the size of the storage facility.
So I hear you, and I get it, and I absolutely agree with what you're saying. It sounds like, and I feel bad for whoever is the owner, because if it's not marketable, well, point, they went through all this process and they're sitting 300 units, you said, sitting there vacant?
1,000
Well, the-
units for the one next to us.
Correct.
But
So-
all of the other units, all of them, Spring
Yes.
Valley, have 300 plus, 150
Got it.
plus empty units.
Got it.
And they're
So there's-
2,000, these places have 2,000, 3,000 units, 3 stories high. They have an abundance of space for
Yes.
that community, and
Perfect.
Chula Vista as well. So now I'm hearing a second storage unit coming in. I mean, who's profiting here? It sounds like they don't care what the community wants, or what's best for the community.
And I understand the frustration and feel it, but what I'm trying to do here is be productive in how, moving forward, this very real concern that I see a lot of heads nodding can be addressed, right?
Well, my question is,
Yes.
if it was approved
Mhm.
when there wasn't a permanent representative as yourself, somebody who was stepping in, as I call it, a substitute interim
No, there's
principal.
no substitute.
So
That-
who
that
was
is-
interim?
That is not
But, okay, so,
lawful. So there's a board of
Yes.
supervisors, there's 5, and maybe that, well, it's frustrating that we didn't have a representative, let's just say that, because a lot of things fell through the cracks or happened that maybe wouldn't have happened if we had had a representative. So I just want to acknowledge that. So
okay.
there's 5, we were down 1, but all 5 of us, even though we represent a specific district, we are responsible for the entire county. So our decisions, even though may have our district's best interest at heart, we're still responsible for the entire county. We're responsible for the $8.6 billion budget. We're responsible for the 3.3 million residents in the county. Now, I can't speak to the reasons why this moved forward, but the reality is it did. Even though we didn't have a representative, we had the 4 who made that decision. And we never had a substitute step in that is not lawful. The lawful process is a democratic electoral process, which we did, and once I was elected, I came in, and now I'm representing the community.
So there wasn't a full, we didn't have a representative, so we didn't have our
Correct.
voices heard,
Correct.
and they moved forward without the voices of the residents.
And
And
that
I
is
feel like that is
absolutely-
sneaky. I feel like that is
It's
sneaky.
frustrating.
After
It's-
how many years of it being denied? I
Sure.
mean,
And
7? I think it was 7. From
After-
2017, thank you, 10 years.
yes.
10 years of it being denied and the board saying no, and then all of a sudden, oh, Johnny's not here, let's vote. I take an oath in my field, and so I'm asking you guys to be ethical and look for that loophole, because it is not in the best interest of these citizens or our community.
And I've asked that question, is there a path to reverse this legal? And the answer is,
There is nothing the county.
The county, but can the community do something? Can the citizens sue? I mean, this is
Vote them out.
really unethical and unnecessary. And again, it was slotted for residential when I purchased. And then there was a way to work around that. There was a workaround that. How come you can work around the residential, whatever it's called? Designation. Now it's an MUP. But we can't look for a loop and say, wait a second here. Where was our resident? Where was our permanent person? Let's pause. Let's go back. Do we need to go to the next level of court? I mean, I feel passionate because that's where I was going to retire.
yes.
And now I don't want to retire there because now it's noisy and I don't want all that stuff in my home. If I wanted to live to a storage unit, I would have just gone anywhere else in Chula Vista. That's plenty of storage units. But I wanted to be a safe place for my son and for me and for my family. And now it's embarrassing. When I have people come over, it's embarrassing.
Money to be able to retire and have your family be happy. You've invested 16 years of your life to this community, which is where you want to stay.
We want
Your
quiet when
forever
you
community.
retire, exactly.
I absolutely get it.
Wow, thank you everyone
Thank
for
you.
letting me use that.
Thank you. Well, I'm sorry, I just want to close the loop on the intersection and pedestrian safety. That's a big deal to me. And if that is also a concern, which I hear is, and I get it, I would like to do something about that. So I want to work with our team, with you all, so that we can figure out some traffic calming measures or some initiatives that could help us all, including the horses, feel safe. So I want to make sure that you know that. That's important. And I'm sorry, I interrupted, if you were ready to speak. Okay. Okay.
I'm Harriet Taylor, I've been on the planning group since '91. We were appalled by the whole situation that what the county did, and basically, that thing, yes. It was wretched and horrible, and the community is still suffering. So we aren't done, but the thing that I would like to meet with you. Because we have all the information, we have the data, we have the whole 9 yards. And I really would like to bring you up to speed with this. And I'm Harriet Taylor, and there's several of us in the planning group that could get together with you and really bring you up to speed on the things that are happening and not happening in Bonita.
Okay, I really appreciate that offer, and Marion, and I have cards here, so we can get together after this.
Sure.
Connect.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
I have a question. So at your meeting, I think it was last week, you had before you a proposal to approve, I'm sorry, I don't remember everything in it.
I just remember reading in the paper that you had a lot of proposals dealing with infrastructure from the rain and sewage, and one of those was to fund a study to continue the work on San Miguel Road, and I think it was $200,000. I just want to know if that was approved. And it was also in the same thing where you had the green streets for Sweetwater Road going through Spring Valley.
It was an $11.2 million for stormwater infrastructure package, if I remember correctly, that we approved that included storm drainage clearance for parts of the Spring Valley, Sweetwater there, the canal. I can't remember off the top of my head the 200K, but it was a whole package that I can get you more information on what we approved.
Okay, I think unless anything was deleted from it, I think then you approved the whole package.
Yes.
It was probably approved, because we really need that to
Yes.
address the flooding on San Miguel Road.
Yes, because it's a very, very big concern of mine based on what we saw during that, it was like a 100-year storm we had, where we had flooding in Spring Valley, we had some flooding in Shelltown. I was just at their, second anniversary remembrance. So that's why I was proud to support this package, because we need to put money in prevention rather than addressing the issue once, the disasters happen. But my team's happy to give you more specific information. I even put up, I think, something in communications about it, so we'll get you some detailed information on that. And that's something that I'm hoping to have your help on is,
I'm here all the time, but, I'm just one person. I'm hopeful that you all can be my office's eyes and ears for when you see a problem, whether it's clearing a certain area that could be potentially a fire hazard, or a street light that's out, or an intersection that's dangerous, or a drainage that's clogged. Let us know. And my team at the office and my team at the county will do everything in their power to make sure that we address that as soon as possible. Yes.
Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm just going to read off the email that I sent. This has gone on for about a year now, and I think it's more the right hand talking to the left hand. Is it the city of the Chula Vista? Is it the county of San Diego? So I'm just going to read what I wrote really fast. I am a lifelong resident of Bonita. I grew up in Bonita Woods Park. My name is Dr. Gina Bennett, and I'm a lifelong resident. I currently live in Emerald Ranch. And I remember as a young girl when Emerald Ranch was under construction, we're all starry-eyed, like, whoa, what's up at the top of the hill? And now I live there, and it's just a full circle moment and a sense of pride growing up in Bonita and moving back and being a homeowner in Emerald Ranch is a tremendous sense of pride. And then growing up in Bonita Woods Park. So the purpose of my email is I'm reaching out because I would like to propose an opportunity to meet and discuss an idea to design a dryscape / drought tolerant landscaping design at the corner of Bonita Road and Central, as well as the corner of Central and Sweetwater Road. So again, being unincorporated, we're not master planned. We don't have, you know, the big shiny East Lake master plan. My mom lives in East Lake on the lake, and they have the lake dues, the villas. It's a tremendous machine of overseeing all the landscaping and the master planning there. But I would like to propose something about cleaning up the tumbleweeds when you're sitting at the red light there across from the Starbucks. There's nothing there, there's nothing master planned when it floods going through Morrison's. If you're sitting at the stoplight, catty corner to it now, where the new Starbucks went in, they did a master plan landscaping, drought tolerant look there. Then you have the natural preserves of Morrison across from that, and then you have the it's not storage units. Sorry, you have the storage unit on my mind. The businesses on across the corner where it's all the rocks. But then when you're walking the golf course, as we all do, have a tremendous sense of pride being in an equestrian community. When you get to this corner, it's all tumbleweeds. We love seeing the horses at the crosswalk. We love seeing all the horses come through and using the crosswalk higher up. It's amazing. And then when you look down, it's weeds, it's dirt, it's trash. There's nothing there that says pride. We want this to look like, you know, we care about what Bonita looks like. So it's an easy option. I just don't know which department to talk to. In addition to that, you know, when you turn the corner there, when you wait to yield before you even get over that bridge, there's a whole nother area that's just weeds and grass as well. It's a big open area again when you walk the golf course. I pick up trash every time I walk there, and then when they replace that chain link fence, they just cut all the metal. So if you look at the ground, it's all cut chain link. I pick it up every time. It's gonna get the horses' hooves, the pets are gonna step on it, we step on it. So does everyone know which corner I'm talking about?
What specific intersection name is it?
Yeah, so the corner of Central and Bonita Road, and the corner of Central and Sweetwater Road. So those are the main thoroughfares, basically getting around Roar Park. When you come out of Bonita Downs, there's the other entrance when you're coming in down this way. But then this corner in the morning, taking my kids to school, it just is backed up all the way. So it's that main artery getting into and out of Bonita. And I would love to have a conversation about earmarking, something drought tolerant, a dryscape, non-water, there's no irrigation there. I talked to a few people through the city of Chula Vista, because again, I'm just kind of taking a stab at the dark and who knows what. And it is divided. They don't know exactly who's in charge of that corner. You know who's in charge of that corner.
So, again, with the county here, we can look up, I'll work with you after, I'll give you a card, we'll look up ownership. If it's private property, it is ultimately up to a private property owner, but if it is within any county right-of-way for public works, we can work with public works as well. If it's private property and it's a fire hazard, if there's debris, dumping, litter, we can work with the code compliance team, talk to the property owner, ensure that it gets cleaned up more often.
So thank you. When you walk that corner, this is what I propose, and I'm happy to fundraise. I'm happy to go to local businesses and outreach in the community to fundraise, like how we have the metal horse sculpture here. Something that is in line with the charm of the equestrian vibe. This is a sign I took heading east into Ramona. It's a metal sculpture with a horse on it, a sunset, and it says Ramona. It'd be something obviously saying Bonita, but just to tie in that community feel at the corner. I'm happy to fundraise. I'm happy to put the feelers out. Also to see if there is money earmarked in the budget for a drought-tolerant dryscape.
Thank you for offering that. So I think the very first step is determining what jurisdiction it is. And it sounds like if it's outside of a jurisdiction of private property, there's an opportunity there to work with the property owner. But if not, something that I would like to offer is have my office help facilitate a community input session and maybe present some of these concepts that you're talking about, when it is categorized as our jurisdiction. Have some community input and work together on this. My office also has, community enhancement program grants and neighborhood reinvestment program grants. NRP grants are more of a one-time infrastructure type of expense. We would have to go through a nonprofit fiscal sponsor, but we can figure all of that out. But I love your idea. I think Bonita deserves to have beautiful, drought-tolerant plants and maybe a bench and something that represents the identity of Bonita. That would be amazing. So I'm happy to commit to that if it's under our jurisdiction, and if it's not as well, like work with the owner and maybe propose to have this be a partnership. It's open.
It's open.
Open.
It's kind of wild.
Yeah.
There is a City of Chula Vista trash can there.
So, but then when you walk at Morrison's, it's a tricky corner, but City of Chula Vista maintains half of the golf course, and then they come in and weed whack it. But something like a bench, a Bonita sign, a horse sculpture for that corner, even if it's donated by our fundraising groups here, something sponsored, if it's not in the budget, but then something that will last 20, 30 more years. And when we're sitting at that light waiting to turn, it's a sense of pride and
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. And by the way, I didn't mention this, but there's plenty of opportunities to provide input. This is obviously one, but as we develop our budget for next fiscal year, before the end of June, we're going to have opportunities to make these requests. And this is definitely now on my radar, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, here in the front, Steve.
Open the libraries on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
They're closed.
Okay.
Please.
We're definitely going to look into that. Okay, thank you for that feedback. Okay.
Okay, first I want to say I think that corner is Chula Vista, but we can always talk with Chula Vista because we deal with them. But my question is, the Morrison Pond open space was really destroyed during the January 22nd flooding that we had, the catastrophic flooding. A lot of the posts are out of the ground and it's never been repaired. I'm wondering if we could get some help or some funding to go in there and clean it up and get the utility posts that we have cut down, like for borders along the walkway. Could we get those repaired?
I believe that's a county park open space, Morrison Pond, so I'll follow up with the Parks Director tomorrow and let him know about the request.
Yeah, actually, I'm Charles Gilvan, operations for, Charles Gilvan, operations for County Parks for South Region. Work for Parks and a resident, so yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's just been a matter of getting the big equipment in there that can reset those, but we hear you, we'll take care of that.
Thank you. In the back, yes.
Well, hi, my name is Abe Lopez. I live here in Bonita, and one of the things I want to talk first of all is the planning department to stop using print plans for permits. I'm a designer, and all the cities are doing everything digitally with PDFs, and we still print a lot of plans to permit something, and it takes forever. And if you want to go to the county, you need to hire a permit runner because it takes forever to get online, when we can work online faster. That's my first suggestion. I will really, really appreciate it because the clients spend thousands of dollars on prints and paper.
I'm a contractor and I can second that like 1,000 times. You guys are way
Let
behind.
me, have you finished the?
No, I haven't. There are three more things I want to talk about. The second one is to make easier to connect ourselves to the sewer lines. where I live in Acacia, we have two lines, one on the bottom in East Chula Vista and one on the R Street in East San Diego County. I have a pump to put everything to my street, and if I want to connect to the other one that is with gravity, it's in Chula Vista, and I have to become part of Chula Vista to do that. And my neighbors have septic systems, and it's so expensive for them to connect themselves to the sewer line that they continue with the septic systems. So it doesn't make sense to have a sewer line and septic systems in the same street. I have a lot of clients that their projects just don't get approved because of the septic systems when they have sewer lines nearby. And about fire hydrants. There are also a lot of projects that a lot of my clients, they just stop because there's not a fire hydrant nearby. And if they want to get their project approved, they need to pull a line maybe 2 blocks away to get that fire line to their property, and it's super expensive and the project dies. And also, and final, it's just like the distance from the street to the ADUs or whatever they're building. It has to be 125 feet for the fire department to be able to extinguish the fire in case of a fire. And that's also like killing the project because they need to create a hammerhead or a turnaround for the fire apparatus. And it's just, I've had, I don't know, 10 or 15 clients that it was not feasible to do the ADU or JDU or even a remodel because all the requirements to the sewer line, to the fire, is just super expensive. Okay.
So Vince can address some of these concerns.
Sure. So in terms of online plans, I love it. I want to get there. We're doing Bluebeam for a lot of our final engineering. So we're moving in that direction. We have a project that we just started, moving forward a new system of Acela for our permit management. That'll be done in the next 2 years, and part of that will be online plan review. It's not going to be for everything, but we're looking to start phasing in more and more. For building permits, we do about half our building permit volume online. It is the more simplistic permits that are out there, but they are online, so that's about half of our building permit volume. In terms of extending sewer, I completely understand that. Septic is very expensive if you want to add a new system or more leach lines for an ADU. That is ultimately up to the sewer district if they're going to extend that. That's not necessarily through our purview. I'm happy to work with you on project-specific locations. In terms of ADUs and fire district requirements for fire hydrants, that's up to the fire district. That's their requirement for safety, so they can pull a line to respond to the ADU. Understand your concerns on it, and the same thing with setbacks and the distances for the hydrants of the 125 feet that you referenced. Fire district specific, happy to help and jump in any conversations with the district if you would like.
Can you connect?
I'll give you a call. Sure.
Thank you very much. And thank you for raising those concerns. Okay, yes, in the back.
Okay.
There we go.
Thank you, Paloma, for coming and hearing our concerns. Most of the people you see here have come for horses. So we have a plan which is actually going to remove the horse over there. And my friends, Stacy and Daryl, have worked very hard on that. So we need to preserve Bonita as a horse community for our backyard horses, and that's why people come to Bonita to have a horse. Like I moved from East Lake, sold my house and come here just to get a horse. And that's the reason most of us are here. So I'd like to hear these guys also.
Thank you for being here. The community is very, very concerned about the City of Chula Vista Park and Recreation Department removing the horse arena from the master plan. Currently, it's not in the master plan, and they say it's only temporary or a working plan. And so a lot of the people here depend on the arena for training horses, for riding horses, the backyard horse owners, people in stables, people come for competitions, people from Imperial Beach often trailer their horses here and ride the trails. So a lot of people in this room, I've seen at lots of meetings, are very concerned about having your support. The mayor supported it, some council members supported it. The Parks Commission are supporting it, but it's not done. And we just want to make sure that the Roar Park Horse Arena stays in Roar Park for the future. Thank you.
Thank you for that. So I'll just start
my DNA. As I mentioned, my parents are immigrants from Mexico. My grandfather was a horse, I guess, entrepreneur. He rented horses in a small town before there were, you know, big roads and lots of cars. So it's in my identity, my DNA. So absolutely love horses. Hear you. I've been working for over 2 decades with the equestrian community of the Tijuana River Valley. Now, my understanding, is there anybody from the city of Chula Vista here tonight? Any representatives? Oh yeah, hi. Do you want to maybe comment on where you are on the process of the park public input process, perhaps? I don't want to miss it. I've been briefed on it, but I'd rather you maybe share that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so the process is going to take about a year for the master plan to be completed. Yes, the mayor and some council members are supporting it, so there is still plenty of time for public input and to show support for it. So yeah, nothing has been finalized yet. Yes.
You talk about the mayor and other people supporting it. Who's opposing it?
Exactly. Good question.
Frank Carson.
Okay, please continue.
Well, I mean, that's kind of it. I mean, everything is still in the planning phases. I mean, nothing has been finalized yet. But
Carson.
the mayor is supporting it, and so now is the time to voice your opinion and to voice your concerns, and then we'll go from there. Thank you.
And I think that's incredibly important, right? It's important to provide input while the public, official, formal public input process is taking place. But like I said, I hear you loud and clear. That's something that you would like to have remain. And I would hope that the city leadership of Chula Vista hears you loud and clear, because I think having a multi-use master park plan is incredibly important and makes you even more competitive in the future for grant funding, for example. In Imperial Beach, when we had multi-use parks, we had a lot more opportunities for grant funding and for other types of state and federal support. So I think that it behooves the city to incorporate or have the equestrian component remain while they potentially create a space, additional space for other uses, right? Families with small children that may want a playground. Like I said, I haven't been part of that process, but I'm going to be following it very closely, and I'm going to make sure that I amplify your voices.
We have it.
Who's been waiting? Please, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Good evening, everyone. My name is Pedro Garcia. I am a resident of Bonita for about 2 years, so I'm new to the community, but a native South Bay resident. I've lived here since the 80s. And I work for National City. I used to work for Chula Vista. I used to work for the county. I'm a local government professional, so I know all the language that you guys are all speaking. So I want to keep it brief. My stuff is mainly around traffic safety and speeding around the community. I live off of Briarwood. I'm part of the new generation that pays triple what you guys pay for a house, so I didn't afford a ranch like all you guys. I have a little townhouse. I stand before you as the HOA president of the community and a voice for my community as well. I, as you, want a community that's safe, quaint, quiet. I've lived in Chula Vista my entire life on East Street, just down the street that connects and is actually Bonita Road also. So I'm really proud to be able to say that I'm a Bonita resident. As a kid growing up, I always saw Bonita as the community that was just so beautiful, so quaint, quiet, all the horses, and it was the community I wanted to raise my son in, and that's why I moved here. I have a 4-year-old son that I care deeply about, but I don't see the county caring equally for that safety that we all cherish. You know, the things I'm asking for are very basic. Street sweeping, parking enforcement, speed enforcement, and a stop sign at Cedarwood and Briarwood. I'll kind of go down the list on those things, but parking enforcement, it's so basic. It's like the most basic city service you can provide. And I live in a community, or in a part of the community, where there's a lot of multifamily. And as you all know, multifamily come with a lot of problems. And the county is taking more of a reactive approach to this rather than a proactive and a scheduled approach to it. What I mean by that is if I don't call in to let someone know that there's some guy working on his car, pulled out the motor on the public right-of-way, nothing's gonna happen. And that car's abandoned there for months, no one cares about it, it's blight, it looks trashy, and guess what, that's the gateway to one of our entrances to the community. On top of it, you know, we have apartment residents who have like 5, 6 cars. Why do they even live here if they have that many cars? You know, we have 3, 4 cars parked on Briarwood, they're just abandoned. And when I called the county about street sweeping, they told me, hey, yeah, we street swept, that's done. And I said, no, it's not done. You know, not only is it downhill, it's the stormwater issue that we're causing, because we don't have a prescribed weekly or monthly, hey, don't park on this side of Briarwood on Wednesdays from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. so that we can clear the cars out. Not only clear out the cars that are abandoned by a lot of these people, but also clean up the debris that builds up from all the eucalyptus trees and all the trees that are there. And it's just mismanagement, right? The county was out there right now recently doing some cleanup of the brush. And if you guys saw on Briarwood, on the east side of Briarwood, they put no parking for the 30th and the 31st. And they cleaned up the brush, but there was like 5 cars that never got moved. You guys never towed. You guys just ticketed them. And I saw the tickets. Good for you for that, but you should have towed them. You know, you guys did the minimum requirement of 72 hours, but no one was towed. You know, in any other city, you get towed, and then you learn your lesson real quick, not to leave your car there. And that's kind of what I'm asking for on the side of street sweeping, because we all really care about this community. Some of us paid a lot more for the little bit of sliver that we have in this community, and we want to preserve that, and we want to maintain that value, and we also want a beautiful community to live in. And then with speed enforcement, if anyone ever goes on Briarwood, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm one of the guys that comes off the freeway, gets on Briarwood, and I go the speed limit. And I do it intentionally because I'm sick and tired of all the people that don't live in Bonita that just fly by through our community because they want to go to Chula Vista, they want to go somewhere else, and they don't give two, you know what, about our community and our safety. I mean, I bike these streets all the time on my bicycle with my 4-year-old son, and my wife is scared every time I leave because she doesn't know if some crazy lunatic's going to come bombing down Briarwood. And there's never any speed enforcement, there's nothing ever done about it. And there should be a stop sign. I know there's engineering requirements with traffic engineer and all this, distance from a street light and all that. But at Cedarwood and Briarwood, there desperately needs to be something about traffic calming, because just the other day I saw one of our residents from our community trying to cross the street. Imagine this, trying to cross Briarwood at rush hour with a little kid and a baby car seat across Briarwood. You know, like, what are we doing here? And let me guess, we'll do something once someone gets hurt or someone dies, right? Like, we shouldn't be reactive, we should be proactive. We're all very intelligent, that's why we're all here. We know the dangers, we know the risks. We should do something before it's too late. And then the parking, it's not just the apartments, it's all along Briarwood. 3135 Briarwood looks like he's operating a dealership out of his house. And there's all these dealer plates. I'm sure you guys all see those cars on 3135 Briarwood. And it's ridiculous. Like, in any other community, I bet you in Coronado they wouldn't let that crap happen. You know, and I always tell people, hey, the reason that Coronado's the way it is because people speak up. And people show up like this. And those are the results that we want. You know, we showed up because we care. You go to other cities, this for being such a small town, this is a huge turnout for residents to ratio. You go to other communities, a fraction of this shows up. I used to work in cities where like 5 people show up. This community cares, and we deserve the same services that the county offers to other places in the community. And I just wanted to also mention on the parking enforcement is daylighting. I don't see any of the parking enforcement being done about daylighting. Daylighting is a new law that came into effect about cars being parked too close to the intersection. And if you know anything about Briarwood and Cedarwood, you see literally cars parked like on the angle in front of a crosswalk. It looks terrible and it doesn't help. It's incredibly unsafe. You can't even leave because you can't see.
Yeah.
If you're trying to cross the street, it's dangerous. If you're on a bicycle with a 4-year-old, it's even more dangerous. And lastly, I don't want to just complain. I do want to provide solutions and be, volunteer to it and propose that maybe we put together a traffic safety committee through Bonita residents because, well, I don't know if it exists already, so sorry if it does, but really just so that we can have a direct line of communication with the county on working on these problems, right? Something, the approach that I take when I do my municipal work is I work with the community and ask what they want rather than tell them the box to fit in. We want to design the box that we want to tell you to design because we're the residents that are here every day. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. That was super helpful, thank you. So, heard, obviously street sweeping. Can you speak to that, Vince?
Sure, there's a couple of different agencies that are going to be involved here. To your comments, we have CHP, we have the sheriff, they have various roles in speeding and parking enforcement. I'll look at the case of 3131 Briarwood. There are limitations on how many inoperable vehicles you can have, and if there's so many vehicles registered to one person, they can't have X number of vehicles if they're working on them to resale. So we can look at that with a code case. I'll talk to you.
3135.
3135.
So sorry, I'll give you a card as well, sir. And then I'm going to connect you with my friend in Public Works who understands all the ins and outs of working with CHP, sheriff, and others on all those traffic concerns, parking concerns, and we can have some offline conversations. And then I think the budget hearing is another place where you probably want to comment. A lot of this does sound like it's resource constraints, but voicing your concerns and interest is important for the board to hear.
Yes, and I'll say to the speeding and parking enforcement, have you all had a meeting yet with Lieutenant Galvey?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think it would be helpful for us to schedule like a coffee with your supervisor and Lieutenant Galvey, which is your sheriff representative for the substation that covers Bonita?
We need to have CHP.
CHP would be better? Okay, I have a contact. They were just at another community group meeting that I was at. Why don't we do that? Because I think we can definitely address the issues related to that, traffic safety, speeding, enforcement. On the issue of street sweeping, I don't know if you addressed is there a prescribed date?
It does vary with Public Works on county maintained roads if they have a frequency or if it's ad hoc, but again, we can work offline with Public Works and find out for the particular roads in question what the rhythm is.
And also planning group, don't forget us.
Yes, no, we will not forget the planning group.
Because we're the ones that get it going.
Yes, absolutely, and that's very important. So we'll do that collective conversation. Traffic safety, parking, that abandoned cars, so that's important too. So yeah, especially when it comes to street sweeping, if you have abandoned cars and there's no towing, that's an issue. There's got to be enforcement. To your point, Coronado. I think we deserve the same as Coronado. I think we deserve the same in La Jolla. I think that, to your point, the fact that there's so many of you here engaged tonight, you'll have the same engagement commitment from me. Okay? Okay, thank you. Let's go to the back because they haven't had a chance. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Susan Hebelin, and I've been a Bonita resident for a while. Thank you, Pedro, for talking about Coronado. I used to write the Coronado newspaper, and that's why people showed up at the meetings. Now I'm writing the Sunnyside newspaper. So if you read Sunnyside Common Sense, you'll know about all this stuff, and you can also add your own comments. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We really appreciate it. Because I have a new face in front of me, I want to bring up an old topic, something that's been a problem for Bonita for a long time. Approximately 20 years ago, maybe longer, they opened up a road up on Proctor Valley that lets people get off of the freeway, avoid the toll, and cut through Bonita. And so we have 10,000 cars a day. at least. You can't ride your horse. I had to get special signs to cross my horse from my ranch to the trail across the street. That's how bad the traffic is. People are speeding, they're cutting through. Bonita people don't drive that fast. We're kind of like taking our time. Oh, we're gonna go to the grocery store. I mean, we're not. These people are zipping through. They're trying to get someplace. Just this last 2 weeks, 2 weeks ago, a car coming through Bonita caught on fire. I mean, I thought some houses were gonna get burnt down. The trees, it was close to the trees and everything. This Saturday night, a drunk driver came through, drove through San Miguel Road, went to the end, turned the corner, drove through the guy's security gate, rolling security gate. He opened it up like a sardine can, drove through, went down a little bit farther, and then I don't know how the guy, made it through. But these are the kind of people we have coming through. We are a small rural community. We ride horses. We don't ride horses, we like to watch horses. So we need...
Susan, don't forget toll avoidance. Yeah.
I said toll avoidance, but that's what they're doing. And so if there's some way you could work your magic, Supervisor, and you can get that road closed at the top of Proctor Valley, because it's not us. It's people cutting through constantly, and it's dangerous. The people that live on San Miguel Road, they can't get out their driveways. I mean, it's like, there's so much traffic. And if they do, they have to back in so that they can go forward to get out. You can't back onto the road, it's impossible. There's been several accidents. People don't feel safe, they feel like they're gonna get creamed, and people are not doing a slow speed limit. The other thing is they had to put a special, what's that called, Mike? A hawk light or something at the elementary school, because people were going right through the crosswalks and almost hitting the kids. So they had to put this special light up that was not cheap. So if there was some way just to get Proctor Valley shut off, Bonita would go back to its small rural community. People could ride their horses on the street. Kids could play ball on the street. It wouldn't be just this traffic that's, semi-trucks go through there.
Get rid of the toll.
Motorcycles, it used to be a dirt road, and then when they widened it, it got really close to the fronts of the houses. So some of these houses aren't very far off the street. There's also, I know you're concerned about pollution. I know how you're working on the river and everything. Well, there's a lot of air pollution. All these cars, imagine 10,000 cars in the morning, 10,000 cars at night, okay? And they're going past these houses. It's hot in the summer, you want to open your door. All that pollution's coming in. So if there's something you could do to get just that one road closed off, and that road, those cars go through, they go up to, Pedro talked about Briarwood, it all funnels through. They come up Proctor Valley Road, they turn left on San Miguel, and then they either go up to Sweetwater or straight to Bonita, and they're all over the whole city. They've changed everything. It's not quiet, it's not peaceful. And if you could do something about shutting down Proctor Valley Road, I'd really appreciate it.
I will, thank you for sharing that, and that's extremely concerning. It's extremely concerning, especially for the folks that live right there.
I can, again, on Proctor Valley, if the request is to close a public road, that is a request I haven't encountered before, but in terms of traffic and safety, let's again reach out to Public Works. I'll connect with them and have some conversations on how we can look at it that way.
Yeah, I don't want to...
I just have one quick comment.
Sure.
We fought this when the 125 raised its ugly head. A group of us fought that for almost 20 years till we got it moved. And they moved it over there. It was originally going to go through down Proctor Valley Road and through the back of the golf course. But 3/4 of that ramp from where you go up to East Lake to 125, San Miguel Ranch Road. 3/4 of that road was built with taxpayer money. That first gate should be free because it was paid with taxpayer money. And we fought to have that open because that would avoid total people would not go through Bonita if they could go straight through. And I think that since we paid for it, it should be free.
could certainly get in contact with Caltrans and have some more conversations on that.
And just to add to that,
Yes.
the traffic that people are avoiding on San Miguel coming down Sweetwater, which is where that storage unit is. And so in the mornings when I leave to take it to school, I sometimes sit there 3 minutes. When before, I would come out, nobody here, easy peasy, but now it's constant, left and right. And at one time, I don't know where this guy came out of, I hit the gas and was skidded out because I did not see him come around the corner. They cut through so fast, they go 60, 70 miles an hour. I prohibit anyone who comes over to my house to walk up there. It's supposed to be a horse trail, walking trail. We don't walk the streets there. We take the car to our park because it's so inundated with speeders, teens, whoever it is, and I get honked at on a daily basis when I'm turning into my street because I have a blinker and I have to stop the traffic. And so I don't know how many times, and they are like honk until they pass. I'm like, one of these days I'm gonna get
Like, and this is your home.
Yes, and it's constant, and it's like, what have we done to our community? This would never happen in La Jolla or Coronado, especially Coronado.
So just going back to the request about closing the road, I think that because that could be a very complicated and lengthy process, and I don't know it, so I don't want to like tell you yes, and I have no idea, like we're going to look into it, but technically the reason why we're seeing this increase in traffic and this increase in speeders is because people are trying to avoid the 125.
Yes.
Correct.
So if the 125 were free, we wouldn't see all these unintended consequences. So I actually support making the 125 free. I've made that very clear. I actually serve on the board of directors of Sandec. It's something that I know before I even became on the board, it's something that the agency is exploring. I think that there's some commitments related to bonds that that they have to be repaid and all of that, but I'm working actually with another big supporter of removing the toll is Council Member Carolina Chavez, who represents East Lake and Chula Vista. So that's something that we're rowing towards. I think we need to row a lot faster. That's something that I'm going to continue to put pressure on. Because,
One move at a time.
again, look, Coronado Bridge used to be charged. I don't know if you remember that. And now it's free. So why are we still charging the folks in South Bay for a road that should be free?
Because they can. They got it.
Well, and that's why we're going to push towards making that be free. Oh, yes.
Time for one more question.
Oh, no. Okay.
Thank you for coming. We really appreciate it, all of us. I want to say something good to start out. We have several issues, but something good. The County of San Diego has been working on the trails in this area, and they have a trail crew. And we want to acknowledge how hard they've been working on those trails. I rode by yesterday, and I talked to the trail crew as we went by. And I said, God, thank you. I mean, this is wonderful. They repair all the storm damage. They have heavy equipment. They do a glorious job. And I want to thank Charles Gilban. He coordinates that, and I think he's doing an excellent job. Again, all the concerns they're having here are the same concerns our horse club has. We ride the trails. Most of our trails are on the road. And when you ride down Sweetwater Road towards where this lady says she lives, so I don't know her personally, but I know what she's talking about. The cars are going by at 60 miles an hour. You are 3 feet away with no barrier. Okay, that is not safe for anyone. If I pull my horse trailer out from where I board it, I have a 4-horse trailer, it is the scariest thing you've ever seen. They're coming around both corners at 60 miles an hour. Several people have been hit, thankfully not with their trailers on, trying to get out of that driveway. Okay, and it's several driveways, I think, down from, where you're talking about. And so it has to be slowed down somehow. On Sweetwater Road, as you go down there, we're going to die. And then as you go down Briarwood, like the other gentleman said, the horse trail is the sidewalk now, when they open that up. So I get off my horse and walk it down the sidewalk. Again, they're doing 45, 50 miles an hour, and they're a foot from me now. Okay, that's terrifying. And it just, there's going to be consequence. You go down San Miguel Road, the trail is on San Miguel. It's people's driveways you're going over, and maybe it's 3 feet wide, the dirt. Those cars are next to you. There is no room. I've ridden up to the golf course and crossed at Central, where she was talking about. And as I hit the horse light, they have horse lights on the poles to let me go past. Somebody turned and hit my horse, okay? This is a long time ago, but I mean, they're not watching, they're going too fast. It's the same problem for the horses as it is for the people. They're all the same problem. Nothing is changing. Also, while I'm up here, I'd like to talk to you, and I know everyone already has bugged you about this, but the horse arena in Moore Park. Even though we're a trail club, we're representing equestrians and horse owners in the Bonita area. We also have the president of the Tijuana River Valley here, equestrian. So everyone here is trying to solve these problems. I mean, they're trying to keep our arena. I've had meetings with Frank Carson. Hopefully they're productive. But we do want that arena to stay. We know the county built it originally, or not built it, but managed it. And when they annexed the park and sold part of it to the city of Chula Vista, we kind of lost a lot of rights. Right now we're fighting as hard as we can. We hope that other people support us in that, because it's a beautiful park. It's 60 acres. We have 1 acre. There's lots of places to put their playgrounds and everything else, and we're hoping they will do that. But we hate to keep bending our ear. I know everybody says, I've talked to, Mary Ann, and I've talked to you, and I realize that. But we just want you to know how important it is to this community. Thank you. Thank you.
Could I please add one more thing to that? At that same time, Chula Vista came down the road, and connected with Bonita Road, and annexed from that street all the way to Willow. So that area is no longer our business district. And that was done in, what was it, the 60s? So it's ridiculous.
Well, I heard loud and clear that we need probably to look at the speed limits for starters. Secondly, enforcement. That seems to be a recurring theme, that we probably need more patrolling units out here. So that's a conversation I'll have with Sheriff Martinez. And CHP as well. So for some areas of Bonita, but for this road, CHP. And the arena. I mean, it's very clear to me this is extremely important to you all, so I want you to count on my support to have it remain. And we're gonna have conversations with the city of Chula Vista. It's obviously their prerogative to decide the destiny of what that will be, but as your representative, I want to make sure that your voices are heard, so I'm going to make sure that we express that. We'll probably end up sending a letter to the council. Let's go here in the front and then at the back. Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. You've been waiting patiently.
My name is Liz Stonehouse, and I've lived in Bonita for 33 years, and I have only one request. Please allow this area to decide the fate of the animal shelter when it becomes abandoned. We have plenty of things we can do with the property. Thank you.
I am very interested in hearing what your ideas are. I had some feedback about that folks had different ideas of what it could be. I think that would be a great opportunity for us to come together and have a listening session as to what you would like that to see become. So my office team and I, and hopefully in partnership with you all, will have those conversations ongoing because that's important. And
Yes.
That was exactly what I was going to say, is that I wanted to talk about the animal shelter and the hopes that we could maybe have that be a community center. Something that we do not have here in Chula Vista. We actually needed that animal shelter though, but nobody asked us, they just took it away. Anyway, but I think that would be a wonderful second use for it.
I've also heard interest in having a community garden there.
Yeah, well, we know that. Community gardens.
Community center.
Community center.
I've heard some feedback about that, but community center, something
Center,
that
yes.
you'd be interested
Sort
in?
of like Norman Center, only pickleball courts and meeting rooms and fun stuff. Well, okay. Anyway, that was what I was going to say. Community center.
Community center.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we have time for one more. I had seen a hand in the back. Yes.
I'm not good at public speaking, I don't have anything prepared, but it's probably poetic justice that I go last. I thought I was the only guy in the room, but that other guy that talked about being a young family man. I'm here representing my wife who's not here. There's a gentrification going on in Bonita, and most of the people in here know me. I love most of the old timers in here, but there's a lot of old timers in here, not many people my age. Bonita has, my wife runs a Facebook club, Facebook group, Bonita Mamas. I think they have almost 700 moms in their group, meaning just Bonita. Things that we can agree on, it's also a very divided community, believe it or not, is all this traffic safety and safety for people on the streets. It breaks down into the horse group. They want more trails and horses and stuff. And that's cool. It's what Bonita was. But we want safety for people who push baby strollers and ride bikes and skateboards and kids and all the things that come with that. I come to these meetings. I've been coming on and off for 10 years. I see not a lot get done. Felix is a great addition to what has been a kind of a tired group. This is just stream of consciousness, but item one, real quick, I know everybody else took a long time talking, and I know you gotta go, but, no, I know, but I'll try and keep it brief. Bonita has a lot of families either in it or trying to get in it, and like the other gentleman over here, we paid 5 times as much for a little sliver of what everybody else here has. I'm also a general contractor, and I definitely second what the gentleman over here talked about with permitting. I can get with, sorry, I got your card, but your name, yeah. I hope you can work towards transparency in government and accountability. I know you've made that one of your platform items, but myself, and I know I'm not alone, we come to these meetings because we feel left out and we want change. We want to be able to talk to somebody like parks or building or trails or whatever. And there's not a lot. I can tell you I'm pretty savvy with the website and I can't find the building inspector's names or the building official. You should always be able to get a hold of them. It's actually like a guarded thing. I'm sure he's shaking his head, no, it's not. But you can go on their website right now and you can Google search it. I cannot find the building official. I should be able to talk to him, especially as a general contractor. One of the things you guys talked about tonight that ticked an idea in my head was, this doesn't happen in Coronado or I don't know where else, Encinitas, I'm just throwing names out there. Because people show up. Well, people show up here, they've been for a long time. It's dollars. They're all complaining about speeding and stuff. We have 2 sheriffs, Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, we have 2 sheriffs patrolling an area from Imperial Beach to I don't know, it's this gigantic area that I'm told,
Two there and then 2 there.
I'm told used to have 48 sheriffs on a given shift. So it's right, like a drop of sand on the beach for enforcement of all these traffic things that I don't know you know, by the way, I commend you with jumping into this, like, out of the pan and into the fire situation with all the issues that are going on in this district. And they all come from like the lack of funding and where to point the funds. But the traffic safety and you know, being able to cross the street, ride your bike, ride your skateboard, push a stroller, for God's sakes, push a stroller down the street without getting hit by a car or nearly get hit by a car. Myself, my wife, a big group of the people that aren't represented in this room right now, except for me and the younger guy over there, we've had trouble with parks, with baseball field traffic, with, we send emails, and Charles, I don't know if you know me directly, but you've gotten emails, plenty of emails from my wife, goes absolutely nowhere. We talked to previous Greg Cox's representative and Nora Vargas's representatives. Now you have a new one. She seems really cool. Met her before. I hope that's. I see everybody leaving, so I guess I'm boring everybody. Anyway, another thing. Back to the money and the funding thing. So I don't know how many of you guys realize this, but you get money through property taxes. The county does. With all the unpermitted ADUs and developments that are on, at least on San Miguel Road, I live on San Miguel Road, you're not getting a lot of the permit dollars and property tax dollars that you should. It underfunds their department, it shortchanges them, it shortchanges our schools, our infrastructure, everything. When you make it really difficult on little people to build an ADU or add on to their house or something that they should be able to do relatively easily, you encourage them to just do it without a permit. Okay? And I see it firsthand. I lose contracts, I lose bids to builders who do things unscrupulous without permits. I won't do that. And so, bless you. That's something that needs to get addressed and worked on. The whole, next topic, the whole code compliance, code enforcement thing being complaint-based. You get a lot of people, they don't want to make an enemy out of their neighbor. They don't want to make, it's difficult to keep, you know, and we get retaliated against, believe me. There's got to be a better way to do code enforcement. So, anyway, families in Bonita, we should have more transparency in government. We'll hopefully get that through your people.
Pedestrian safety.
Pedestrian safety we agree on, and that's basically it for now. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I know we'll be on time, but I just want to acknowledge and thank you for speaking up. I know that it might have not been easy to speak up in a room that you may have a different perspective, but I just want to acknowledge what you said, what Pedro said earlier. It does resonate with me as well, because I understand what it is to, make it in this reality, the cost of living, having a young family, trying to acquire a home. Those are valid concerns, and having a family, making sure that they can walk, bike, skateboard safely is incredibly important to me. And just to maybe put an example, if you're ever down in Imperial Beach, you'll see a lot of new complete streets where we've increased bike lanes. Now we have wider bouts where it's harder for cars to make a quick cut corner there, so that increases pedestrian safety. We have pedestrian crosswalks with the lights, with islands, so that if seniors are walking and need a break in the middle of it, they can take a break in the island. So not to tout like, oh, this is all we did in IB, but just to show you with my actions that pedestrian safety is incredibly important to me. I hear you. Horse safety is important. Everybody's part of the community. We can make it work. Like, it doesn't have to be this or that. It could be this and that. So again, I'm going to sit down with our Department of Public Works and look at where we're at. We're having those active conversations right now because of the budget. So I want to make sure that we secure some funding so that we can get some of this good work started. Sound good?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And thank you to the board. I want to make sure to thank you so much for the opportunity to speak today and for your
Paloma area. That completes our forum for her. We have to move forward. We have 30 minutes left to finish the rest of our planning group meeting, and then we have to put the chairs and tables away. So.
That would have been a good ending question, but that's my job is to ask questions. No, I know. I'm going to hit her at the door though. I don't want to do it because I want them to finish their meeting. They said they only have a half an hour left. Yeah, but I thought that's what they were saying. He's waiting to talk. Yeah, exactly.
Attention everyone,
go ask your question.
So if you want to converse, please take it outside. Thank you. All right, ladies and members, that's what you can be. We got 20 minutes, and we have to close shop.
Okay, you want to just by yourself?
Let's finish the last one. All right, so all the planning group members here, are we present and accountable?
We'll get you a list.
thought that's what I was trying to figure out.
Chairman, to close this?
Please. Thank you so much.
Yep. Thank you guys. Thanks everyone.
Bye now.
Thank you, Charles. You're all right. I don't care what the county says about you. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, is this for the public too, or just for people?
Oh, you may want to, yeah, you can stick around if you like to. We have to stay, but remember, that you guys come or go, it's up to you.
We're Sweetwater Community Planning Group. We meet the first Tuesday of the month at the fire station at 7 o'clock, and we're either elected or appointed. Come to the things.
Are you more than welcome?
Let me emphasize, normally it's at the fire station.
Thank you.
All right, so we got 15 minutes. Let's rock and roll.
Okay.
Okay, so item number 4, we're moving forward now. Approval of the January 6, 2026 meeting minutes. The following minutes have been circulated for review. Can I get a motion for
I'll
approval?
move to approve the minutes.
Second.
Mark and Liz?
Usual.
Okay.
Thank
Very
you.
good.
What do you mean the usual?
All right, let's call for vote.
What is the usual?
Okay. Liz?
Yes.
Michael Flowers?
Yes.
Uwe?
Yes.
Me, yes. Mark?
Yes.
Harriet? Yes. Pat? Yes. Stephen?
Yes.
Danny?
You stepped
Oh,
out.
He walked out.
Felix?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Judy? Yes. John?
Yes.
Yes.
One's MIA.
All right, so minutes are approved. Very good. Okay, item number 5, public comment, opportunity for members of the public to speak to the planning group on any subject within the planning group's purview, but not on the agenda. Presentations limited to 3 minutes. No action can be taken on items not on the published agenda, but can be added for future agendas for action. Speakers must be recognized by the chair before speaking. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak? No? Liz, you have your hand up?
2 seconds, because I've been asked to do this. There's going to be a big reveal of the wrap around the museum in May. There'll be notices all over everywhere about it. They're having their big gala dinner, and tickets are $150 a piece.
What day?
Information all over the place.
Date?
I got the sheet home, it's the middle of May.
That's okay.
They'll send it out, and if they don't, I'll send it out. Thank you.
May 16th.
May 16th.
All right, so any other public comment? No? Okay, moving forward. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the appointment of subcommittees and ad hoc chairs for 2026. Positions include community updates, trails, traffic, and San Miguel Community Watershed. So, can I get any nominations? Sure.
Yeah, why don't we just move to keep the same victims and go on? There you go. That's what I was trying to do.
I second that.
Sounds good.
I think so. I think we need to spell this out. So let's spell it out. Okay, so for community updates.
Harriet? Right?
Harriet, you want to do that? Sure. Okay, so we have Harriet for community updates. For trails?
Mark, leave.
I'll do it again. I'm not as involved, but I will do it. I have a lot of
All right, thank you.
back history, if that helps for you.
You're more involved than anybody else.
I'm not as much on the trail as I'd like to be.
Do we have a future appointee from, any recommendations from you?
For 665.
To be considered.
Well, he's got a year to think about
I don't know.
it. Think about it.
Well, it has to be one of us,
They
right?
should be on the board, right?
It has to be on the board, so
Yeah.
Mark will do it for a year.
I'll do it. Mark's does it.
Okay, then.
All right, good.
I mean, I have a lot of background, but
All right,
I'm not out
traffic.
on the trail as much. I feel kind of
Mike?
like I'm not doing.
Then San Miguel Community Watershed.
That's me.
Judy?
Judy, you want to do that? Okay.
Judy?
And then there was another consideration, and so let's get a consensus here for this. How does everyone feel, discussion, how does everyone feel with regard to design review committee? Is that something you guys want to see move forward, or do you want to try not doing it all? One of the concerns I have is with regards to having to be transparent with posting notice and then finding a place and then the minutes associated with that because of the committee, and trying to corral everyone to come together to meet for that design review committee. And I'd like to have at least 2 people on that. So that being said, I'm considering as an option of maybe not doing it this year and giving it a trial run and seeing if that works to be more efficient with time management, or I'm open to suggestions.
You know, the one thing we've done before a few weeks is to have like an ad hoc committee when we get a big one. You know, we get another, say, storage unit that we want to.
Which they brought up, by the way.
That is, yeah, that would be very appropriate to have an ad hoc committee when we have something to look at. But just generally to have something there, you're right, I don't know if it makes sense.
Well, I nominate Harriet because she did it before and she's really good at reading blueprints. And I agree, it should be ad hoc, which is as needed for when we get one.
And ad hoc means you don't have to do the run.
Right.
And that's why I bring up ad hoc.
Exactly.
Right. So who else do we want to be on to balance things out?
But the other thing I want to add is that it's important to, when we have a project before us, that we can get the planner or the planner, the applicant, the whole 9 yards to come to us. And that is the biggest priority.
Okay.
Yeah, but so, when you say that, everything always comes back to the whole group to approve anyway, and every applicants present to our whole group. So why do we need like a pre-group to look at this stuff?
Somebody to study it more, as you know, they come to us with their pre-planned thing they already have. I feel like, you know, I'm probably the newest person on the board. I sort of feel like the planning group works against us. They do not work for this community.
No,
we saw that with the storage facility. We saw that. So I do think we need somebody from the go to review the plans and then make a presentation to us. More information than the planning department.
More with pros and cons of the project.
What the design review committee does. They're supposed to handle the design of the building or whatever, not necessarily the whole plan of the building.
Like for AutoZone, like, you know, when they look at the lights and all that.
All the time I've been on the board for 20 years, and then chair, we have not had a design review committee. Any design review permits that would come in would be handled by the whole group for a presentation or whatever. So I don't think we need it anymore.
Well, what about just ad hoc for when we get something, then we have somebody who can look at it?
If you have a large project, which we probably won't, except maybe ACE, but we're not going to.
Wait a minute, we've got Nectar, we've got things bubbling along, and there's ACE, and there's stuff.
Is ACE what he was talking? It
Yes.
scared me
He
when
said
he
they
said
weren't
that.
supporting it. He said they weren't supporting it.
At the end of Benita was probably the one next to the firehouse.
He said at the other end of Benita, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that is it. We need to get on that before, because the other one got away from us. But anyway, just back to the ad hoc.
We didn't have a choice with the last one.
I feel like there's a consensus that we should have an ad hoc design review for when we do have that problem, but it's not, it doesn't need to be regularly.
When something comes before us, I sit down, I pore over them, I look at everything and figure out what's good, what's not, and I've done this for years.
And that's a value.
That's my
That's a
profession.
value.
So with all this discussion, what I'm hearing is for a very large project like
Any project.
ACE storage, that maybe we should consider an ad hoc committee.
Well, if
But
something
for smaller
larger,
projects, we
but if
probably
it's-
just have it brought to the board.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do a compromise. My concern is if we commit to a committee, then that means that we have to take time out to
No.
get everyone together, find a place,
Or
post the agenda.
One little
Ad
project
hoc,
kind
you
of
don't have
thing.
to,
Right.
no Brown Act, ad hoc equal no Brown Act, remember?
Correct.
Yeah, so it's just, I present, I do the pros, the cons, and I try to get the planner there as well as the developer. So to ask questions and say what we do and do not like. And it goes.
And I personally like to look at the plans.
Yeah, me
I
too.
like to look at plans.
Well, yeah, we would before we voted, wouldn't we? I mean,
There's nobody in here that can look at the plans better than I can.
okay, I
Pretty
believe
simple.
you.
Excuse me.
I'm just saying it'd be nice to have that one person or two in place for when we need it, but it's not a regular thing.
Can we just appoint them when we have something, so that if it's within somebody's area of expertise, so it's not always the same person who's in charge, or same people looking at it? It might be something more appropriate for Penny and Mike to look at it versus me and Liz.
Well, they can, other people can be added to the committee as needed, or
It's
as
not
interested.
static, it's just.
We
All I
will
do
know
all I
if we
do
get the
is
plans
look at-
from the county, whether it's a big project or not, we could make a decision, okay, this is something we're gonna have to look at a little more in favor.
At the next
And then
upcoming
appoint an
planning
ad
meeting,
hoc committee.
and we can go and create it for that particular project.
Not a steady one that's,
Right.
because last year there was, what, one thing that came up? Signage or something like that?
Right.
Are they all ad hoc then? Because like the watershed, so they're all just, but we're gonna have chairs for all of them except for the one design review. Is that what you're promoting?
Correct.
That doesn't seem equitable to me.
Now, what are we saying?
They're saying they want to have chairs for all of those committees except for design review. They want that to be truly ad hoc for when an item comes up. I just feel like it all ought to be the same to me.
Let's keep
If you're going to have
simple.
chairs,
Yeah,
you know,
keep it
come on,
simple.
let's just do it.
Keep it simple.
Yeah.
All I do is review it at home, bring it to the meeting, and explain and pros and cons,
Right?
and
That's not going to be easier, let's just do it.
Could we just vote on it?
We could.
I mean, instead of just talking about it, just
Okay,
vote
make
on
a
it.
motion, Penny.
So I move.
Well, it's actually, I-10 says the chair appoints with concurrence. I don't know if concurrence includes both, but.
We already actually
Well,
have a motion on the table,
For the same as last year, you're
the
right.
same as last year, so I think we have to.
yeah, because we
Do
weren't
that
really
before we-
committees. I don't have a trail committee, he didn't have a traffic committee, but if we need some help, we go talk to people. As long as we don't talk to more than a quorum, you know, we have to talk to you guys.
You can't talk to more than 8 people.
We can't get together, we don't have to do minutes and all that.
So you.
We're just a representative, I
The
don't
Brown
think
Act
we're.
doesn't apply, so you, Mike,
Mike.
and who else, what's the other one? You.
Harry.
Everybody but
I
Harry.
cannot hear what's being said
Okay,
down there.
I see it.
I cannot hear what they're saying down there. So somebody tell me.
They want to have a committee chair for all of those positions.
No, don't call it the committee chair, we're just a
It's a
representative.
misnomer.
Well,
Right.
that's what it is in I-10.
Yeah,
So
but it's
I'm
a
sorry,
mis-
that's
it's a
what
misnomer.
I-1 says. It's
Okay.
called the chair.
It's a
Whatever you want to do.
representative.
So, and I think that's great. I just think it should be consistent with what all, if we're gonna have all the committees we're gonna have, they should be either appointed now, or they should truly be ad hoc and only appointed when there's an issue.
So do we
That's
want
my
to,
opinion.
how about this? Do we want to stick with the same individuals who were on the committee prior to be on the ad hoc? Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fine, and, you know, it's okay, it's not a big deal, because there's, I mean, unless something comes up that is a big deal. But we didn't do a whole lot this year.
Right, and that was my concern, is it's a lot of prep and work for a project that seldom happens. And I want to practice time management, I want to be more efficient with what we do.
And
I personally, I don't care, I don't care, it can be whatever.
And I would like to maintain that I at least be the primary I know how to read them, I know, I've done it for years. I went to
Area,
school
we
for
all
this.
know how to do that. Yeah.
I know, but
I know, look at the plans.
we all know how to read plans, don't we?
The motion
Okay,
and
so,
the second was to keep all of the chairs we had before. That's pending.
right, but we're not doing a design review committee, we're doing a design review ad hoc.
Well, they're all
Yeah,
ad hoc.
yeah.
They're all ad
Because
hoc.
that way, if we spell it out correctly, it's in the minutes correctly, we don't have to worry about following through, and I won't get phone calls from the county saying, hey, where are the minutes? So,
I'll second that.
I don't know.
It was already second.
yeah,
Judy seconded.
Okay, so let's call for the vote.
let's call for the vote.
Again, what are we voting on?
The
So-
the committees that exist
Prior,
in 2025 are going to be the same with the same people.
but it won't be a design review committee, it'll be a design review ad hoc.
Well, they're all ad hoc.
Yeah.
They're all
Well,
ad hoc.
we want to make sure that's how we're calling it, so that we don't have to post agendas.
Even trails and traffic are
They're
ad
all
hoc?
ad hoc.
Yes.
Okay, so this shouldn't say appointment of subcommittee, just say,
It's the chair, according to I-1 on page 19, the chair shall appoint the chair of all subcommittees. So they are
so
subcommittees.
these are ad hoc subcommittees?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, I'm gonna change the wording because it's confusing. Okay.
So we're doing away with the chair then?
No.
It's ad hoc.
Call for the vote.
So if it's ad hoc, is it a chair or a representative?
It's a chair of a ad hoc subcommittee.
Okay,
That's right from the,
okay.
Yeah, who's the chair?
the same as last year.
Right.
Whoever
So-
did it last year is
So
going to do it
I was
again.
responsible for posting the agenda, I was responsible for the minutes, so I will be the chair, but Harold will be on it, and so will Judy.
Of what are you talking
Huh?
That's the way it was.
Correct,
about? Okay.
correct. We're doing the same thing we did last time.
You're the chair of design review?
Yes. And then make sure to include our full names.
Yes, yes, you're something like that. Okay,
Or at least
So-
our last names.
we do that. Okay, so we're voting then to keep the same.
Yes.
All right, Liz,
Yes?
Michael Flowers,
Yes.
Uwe?
Yes.
Uwe? Yes. Oh. Ventriloquist. Mark?
Yes.
Harriet?
Abstain.
Patty?
Yes.
Stephen?
Yes.
Daniel?
Yes.
Felix?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Penny?
Yes.
All right, very good. Approved. All right. Okay, is there anything else that we discussed?
Nope.
No, we're good.
Don't have any report.
All right, very good.
The
Okay.
only thing I want to add right now is I think the meeting we had tonight with her was a fantastic event. And I feel very positive about everything that was talked about, and she was. So I think we're in good shape, and that's I'm thrilled.
I was impressed by her credentials. I didn't know she had that much background.
Next month is that planning group's coming back, right? Just about,
Just regular
they're
stuff.
contentious is all I remember.
All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you all. We'll bring it in. Okay. Bye, guys.
Waiting for mine. Bringing in a plastic.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. We want to thank the Sweetwater group here in Bonita for having us. And there's more to come. We're going to be paying attention to all the groups locally. So if you know of local groups when they're meeting, all you got to do is send me their calendar and I'll put it on my website and we'll condense it all onto one calendar. And you'll know what's happening in South Bay, Chula Vista area, Bonita area, National City, IB, San Diego Live Data. But thanks for tuning in.